This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. Let's see if you can stun the people with something, because the people are stunned that Joe Shad is giving Tua credit. Like, they're stunned. They're stunned. They're shocked.
Joe traditionally been a Tua doubter?
Yeah, he's been a Tua doubter. Yes,
Gotcha.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not as bad as Poupart. Poupart needs to see Tua win 8 championships, and then he'll say, he's all right. He's after. Teddy could have won 6 of them. Yeah. But he's converting people, and although it's fun and you're watching it on your network, right? People that weren't necessarily believers of Tua, or maybe even the Dolphins.
Yeah.
People are all of a sudden now are believing in Tua and believing in the Dolphins. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Definitely they have transferred a lot of folks into Dolphins after their first couple of weeks. I think that just as easy, though, people would switch back if they see any cracks, if there's any injuries. So I think the sports takes are very wishy-washy. Whoever's good, wow, they're amazing. Why didn't anybody believe in them? Whoever's bad, why? We told y'all y'all shouldn't believe in them.
But wait a minute. But you mentioned something which proves there is something that has been erased.
Yes.
You mentioned injuries, because by now, if you're questioning Uno's ability, bro, I feel like I can't help you anymore.
Absolutely.
Like your intelligence, I don't know if you have any. I don't know if you have eyes. I don't know if you have a brain. By now, if you're still telling me he's too short, he doesn't have a strong enough arm, he's not athletic enough, he plays too much golf, whatever the stupid excuses I used to hear, that cannot be said anymore, right? That's the part that can't be said.
Yeah, I almost forgot about the golf one.
I didn't. Trust me, I didn't.
I think 2 years ago, there were several questions about Tua. There was the arm strength. There was the is he good enough? Remember after Fitz finished up a couple of games, it was can he even finish a game? And now it's just the health. I think there are probably still some people who make the jokes about the deep ball. That is still a thing. People still have questions, even though he leads the NFL in yards per attempt, and he's throwing the ball regularly, to Tyreek and Waddle 50 yards down the field. That's not the point. The main question I think people still have is the health, which it is what it is. But the fact that he's eliminated those issues so quickly, I think there's a big credit to him.
Yeah, he'll carry the health thing for many years until he actually goes on a streak of many years. And let's just segue into the proper thing now. That I just talked with Joe about this. I'm really proud of him because his awareness now is the proper awareness for this kind of quarterback. He's getting rid of the ball quickly. He is quick to throw it away, throw it on the ground, throw it out of bounds, and he's sliding. He ain't putting a shoulder into anybody or trying to take on it or trying to avoid a tackler and try whatever. He's not doing any of that. And that's, to me, that's enormous. Besides knowing the game and throwing dimes and all that kind of stuff, I expected that. This is the part that I'm really proud of him for the first 2 weeks. He has shown true awareness of the way he's supposed to carry himself.
Yeah, we all love Spicy Tua. We all love him snapping back. But I think you're seeing a guy who's completely content with himself. He has no doubts. He has no doubts about his game, no doubts about who he is. And so he's truly himself, whether it be spiking back at media or how he interacts with teammates. Like even him getting involved with Raheem Mostert dance, that's just him being himself. And I think as you see him be himself, you'll see more of his natural ability to be a quarterback, even beyond the scheme, because that's another criticism people started to have, which I think is less of a criticism, honestly. But they're saying, oh, well, he's a system guy, right? He runs the system really well. And once you get him out of scheme, out of timing, he gets in trouble, right? that may have been true to an extent in the past, but as we've seen earlier in this year, he's been able to adjust. And that to me is what's most impressive so far this year. We saw him ball out last year in a way we had never seen consistently. This year, teams have had a whole offseason to plan against Tua, plan against McDaniel's offense. And so the question I have is going to be, how do you change when people say, hey, we're going to sit on the slant? We're going to sit on the end breaking routes. When they're going to do what the Patriots say and say, we're going to play 3 deep tight ends, or 3 deep safeties, and not let you have anything over the top, not let you have anything in the middle, take away Tyreek. What do? Well, we go to Rheaume. We go to Jalen Waddle. We adjust. We hit outside the numbers. Those are things that I think unlock and show us a different level of Tua that even we saw last year. So to me, I think that the comfort's right, the confidence right, but also the freedom to play within the scheme, but also ease out of the scheme if the play needs it.
Talk to me about the offensive line. Are they exceeding your expectations?
Yes, I'd say so. Now, I will say that Tua does lead the NFL in time to throw. And so he's getting the ball tremendously fast out of his hands. And so it's hard for me to say, hey, they've been incredible as a pass blocking unit because they have not got him hit. They have not got him sacked. So that's the main goal. That to me is the base. And I had worries about them in the base, particularly without Teron. But they have protected him. He's obviously helped them. They probably tweaked the offense to go even quicker than maybe they were initially going. And Kendall Lamb stepped up really well. But I think what even impressed me more because of the way the offense set up is how they opened up holes in that running game. When you see the Patriots essentially disrespect you the way they did with 3 or 4 in the box and say, hey, we're going to take away the time, that's when you need your O-line to dominate, and they did. And so I've been impressed with Isaiah Lynn stepping in at left guard, a position he hadn't played in years. He looks like a solid starter there. And Kendall Lamb stepped in well for Teron. And it helps you feel good about him as a second factor. I think there's a chance that we see – I don't know if that's you or me. But I think there's a chance that you see Teron back this week. But even so, Kendall Lamb has showed that you can trust him when he's in the game.
I'll read some numbers to you. 10, 13, 18, 17, 9, 6, 10, 15, spike, 27, 28, 7, 18, 22, 18, 20, 23, 9. You know what those numbers are?
I do not.
Those are the sack numbers for Dan Marino every year.
Really?
10, 13, 18, 17, 9, 6, 10, 15. He had the couple years of 27 and 28, which is a lot for him. But normally, because you were saying, because Tua's getting rid of the ball quickly. And Dan Marino had a great left side of the line. Everybody talks to you about Webb and Sims, which they were fantastic. The rest of the line wasn't special, okay? Right. They were serviceable. And he did his job where his radar read quickly and he got rid of the ball quickly. And if the play wasn't there, he threw it away really happily. He threw it away. He was an expert at that. And that's what that reminds me of, that he's doing what Marino used to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what you have to do.
Yes. Marino did it amazing. And even I know it may be blasphemy to compare him, but Brady did that throughout his career. You know, Brady's skill set.
Peyton too.
Peyton too. Their skill sets were preservation as much as anything too. You preserve yourself by getting rid of the ball quickly, your anticipation. And I was talking to someone earlier about this, and they talked about Tua's time to throw. And they were like, well, yes, because McDaniel schemes everything so well. And yes, because Tyreek is so fast. And all these things are true. Speed plays a factor. Play call is a factor. But Tua's one of the best quarterbacks in NFL anticipation. And it's hard to track anticipation. You know how you track anticipation? Time to throw. Your time to throw is based on how you anticipate things. You have to see it open, or can you anticipate that dude being open? And Tua is excellent about that. And the offense fits him perfectly through that. And so you maximize the dude's anticipation, you also get the ball out quicker, which protects you. And so Marino was good at that. Brady was good at that. Tua was good at that. And so people always ask, what is Tua's superpower? Because he's not he has super accuracy, and he has an amazing anticipation. Those are his two superpowers.
And ball placement.
As well.
And see, the problem that people don't understand about the quarterback position is if you don't have accuracy, if you don't have ball placement, if you don't have anticipatory skills, you're not ever going to be a great quarterback. You can run like a deer. You can throw it out of the stadium if you want. You can throw it at 100 miles an hour if you want. That doesn't make you a good quarterback.
Yep.
And so those traits are great to have as long as you have the other ones.
Yes.
If you don't have the other ones, then you're always going to be an incomplete quarterback, and you're going to look like Ryan Tannehill, and you're going to look like certain quarterbacks out there because you got some holes in your game. And that's where, like, Peyton Manning didn't have a gun, bro.
Yeah.
He was just tall. Okay.
Especially at the end.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. But Tua is not tall, so he doesn't have that part to look over. So he has to use passing lanes in order for him to do his job, which makes it even harder. That's why the guys like Breeze and Tua and guys that work and live in that anticipatory type of world, when they get to the NFL, there's a little bit of an adjustment for them because they have to adjust their skill set to the game speed. Whereas these big ass athletes, they're not adjusting to the game speed. They have to adjust to the way the game's played, the way it's designed, the way that they have to decipher everything. That's the easy part for the Breezes of the world and the Tuas of the world. They can decipher. It's really finding the timing of the game speed with their arm, because their arm is a little slower than the game speed. So they have to then adjust. And that's the beauty of Tua. That's why I never had any doubts that he was going to be elite, because he had the right traits to be elite, while the other people are worried about the shiny objects. And look at Justin Herbert again this week. Overtime and 3 and out. You know what I mean? And it's, I keep telling you, he's an athletic Jeff George. Okay?
Who, Tua?
No.
I was about to say, wait, what?
No. Justin Herbert is an athletic Jeff George. Is what he is. He's an athletic.
So to me, I was thinking about Justin Herbert recently, and I'm like, who can I compare him to? And I know it's probably a lazy comparison because of the city. It gives me a lot of Phillip Rivers vibes.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers gives me a lot of those vibes. He's more athletic than Phillip Rivers was.
Yeah, he has the Jeff George gun.
Yes. But the Phillip Rivers thing is Phillip Rivers would always put up amazing numbers. You always felt the Chargers should be better than they were because they had Phillip Rivers. He was never the best quarterback in the league, but you always thought Phillip Rivers was one of the group, one of the 5 to 7 best quarterbacks of that year. But they never got to the Super Bowl. They never got past the AFC divisional, AFC championship game. And the Chargers haven't even got past the first round yet. And so a lot of these stats start to feel empty if you don't win. And so the Chargers, like I know this is a Dolphins stat, the Chargers are one of the more interesting teams to me to watch over the next month. They're 0-2. If it starts to get really bad, something's got to change. And it already changed both coordinators. You know what's next.
Yeah, Jim Everett's another guy that kind of reminds me of Justin Herbert. Another guy, tall, big arm, but then kind of shaky in those moments that you need him badly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just, when you watch Tua this past week, he goes 7 of 7 on that drive, and you're like, this is a money player, bro. That's what this guy does. It's how he's wired. You know what I mean?
Yep.
How far? What do you do with Andrew Van Ginkel? Because what he did this week screams, give me playing time.
Yeah, it's so interesting because you have 2 edge rushers. You have Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, right? The way Van Ginkel looked rushing the edge was better than we had ever seen. Like, that was Andrew Van Ginkel's best game as a pro. And they used him primarily as an edge rusher. And it's so tough to take Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips off the field. But the way Van Ginkel played, is telling me that I've got to give him some of those snaps. I got to figure out a way, even if it's decreasing. Maybe we say, hey, Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, y'all are both at 70%, and we find a way to give Van Ginkel 50, 60%. And you just go in for either guy, and we just do a 3-man rotation there. And so you don't feel like you're benching one, you're just reducing. Maybe everybody stays fresh. I like Van Ginkel better on the outside than I do on the inside.
Definitely.
And I know they probably put him on the inside because he needs reps on the field. They want to get him on the field, and they had a depth issue at inside backer. But can he do the same things at inside that he can do it outside? I'm not sure. Unless you start changing your blitz patterns or your pass rush patterns that come from the inside, I don't know if it flows that way. And so I just say I move Van Ginkel back to the outside. That's where he's the most disruptive for most of the snaps. And then I just figure it out. And if Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb have an issue, then you got an issue with winning. And so that's how I approach it. And that means I got to play David Long as a full-time backer. That's what you signed him for.
Jason Sanders, what are you doing?
Whew. I gotta start thinking about what my free agency looks like. I think it's too early to make a change, but it's not too early to start thinking about what my options are. It's been going on for a little bit. I think you just start to look around a little bit and say, hey, if you give him at least 2-3 more weeks of grace. He used to be your kicker for a long time. But if 2 or 3 weeks he's still missing kicks, you still can't trust him, I think you got to start looking to see what the other options are available.
Yeah, because, dude, he's put your game at risk 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a team as good as the Dolphins, they can't have a kicker they can't trust. That's it. You can't have a kicker where late in games, in a game you need, you're like, oh, man, this 45-yard field goal, this 58, 52-yard field goal, can he make it? I don't know. You got to have confidence. Now, you guys are going to miss. It's not a perfect league. But right now, if you tell me Jason Sanders is lining up for a 50-yard field goal and win the game, I'm not very confident.
I will say this. When's the trading deadline?
I think it's around Halloween.
Okay. Because, street free agency, you may not find anybody. But by the trading deadline, there'll be several teams that'll be out of the playoff race. One of them might actually have a good kicker. And you know what? That might be the avenue, because I was thinking about that last night. And I was going, man, free agency is going to be hard to replace Jason Sanders. You give him a couple more weeks because you got to do it anyways. You got to wait for the trading deadline. You got to get closer to it. And if he doesn't perform well, then maybe the way you do get a kicker is by going after a team that is out of the playoff race and has a good kicker and is willing to trade him. And that's it.
That's a good point.
That's the only way I was thinking that you can replace, because right now what's on the street may be just as reliable as Jason Sanders is right now.
Yeah.
And that's not really going to make any progress. Meanwhile, if you take somebody off of somebody else's roster by the trading deadline, they're already been in a groove for the entire year. So now you've got somebody that's playing and in a groove and confident, and then you add them to your team, and I think that puts you in a better position. That's how I was thinking that you might be able to replace Jason Sanders.
Yeah, you just need I know I'm a big competition guy. To me, I think you got to give him a chance. I think McDaniel did this last year, where I think there was I don't remember what week, but he had a rough couple of weeks, and the questions popped up again. And I think McDaniel said, hey, we believe in him. We're going to give him another chance. And I think he started to play well the rest of the season. I wonder if that's the same situation here, where he gives you a public bout of confidence, which can mean I got public confidence until you screw up again, and see if that sparks him. And if it doesn't, then you got to think about bringing in competition one way or the other. And I think that starts with something easy like signing the kicker to your practice squad, letting them compete for a couple of weeks. But then if you decide we got to make a move, maybe you do your route. Maybe you trade for a guy. Maybe you sign a guy that you like better. But right now, I definitely think he should be on watch.
So did you end up doing your homework with Peter Schrager?
What was my homework?
You're supposed to ask him if he's a Dolphin. Because
I haven't been in person with him.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't think he is.
I think he is, bro. I think he is.
I think that he has a relationship with Mike McDaniel and he likes Mike McDaniel. I don't know that he's a Dolphins fan, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Over the last couple of years, I've always noticed him kind of very pro Dolphins, and I'm like, man, I'm wondering if this guy has a little bit of aqua and orange in his blood, because it always seems that way that he's always pro Dolphins now. So I just bring it up. All right, what do you got going on in the NFL Network so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, I'm going to go get a quick workout in. We got late practice today, so 2:30, 2:40 Mike McDaniel talks. So I'm going to get an hour workout in. Mike McDaniel talks. Tua's talking today. They have practice. And then I'll be on Total Access tonight from 7 to 8. Should be coming up around 7:15 Eastern. Talk a little Dolphins. I talked a little Dolphins yesterday on the Insiders. I'm going to be talking a little bit of Dolphins tomorrow and on Friday, and I'll be doing the game on Sunday. So you guys got me all this week. I think the last time I was around the league, and now I got a home game. So I'll be talking all Dolphins this week.
Good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolfe and catch him on the NFL Network. Catch him tonight, 7 to 8 p.m. He'll be out there live doing his thing. Cam, as always, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you immensely.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. KSDT CPA, offices in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. Also now an office in Charlotte, North Carolina. They are hiring in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if we have anybody listening, I know we do. We have several listeners in the North Carolina area. If you're looking for work, call them right there. See, 305-670-3370. If you're looking for work in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties, they're also hiring. 305-670-3370. And tax season is here. The second deadline just arrived. They can give you a 10-day break. So let's go. Get on it. Call them, whether it's your personal taxes, your business taxes, KSDT CPAs. They are a top 200 firm by Forbes, accounting firm, tax firm. So you definitely want to call a company that knows what they're doing, and they can help your business grow too. So if you're looking for payroll help, if you're looking for maybe you want to find out how much your business is worth, you're looking to sell it, man, they can help you with all of that. If you've got some tax planning to do, retirement, whatever it is, folks, KSDT can help you in every angle of your business and, of course, your personal taxes. Call them 305-670-3370 or use that QR code right there on the screen for KSDT CPA.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.